up is a presentation by Navitas, that's definitely Navitas, regarding the Vosburg pump station upgrade. So you can make your way. Again, the time to Art Patrol, the last spot.
Yeah, so, board, we've talked a few times about the concerns with the Vosburg pump station. We have engaged MRB, which have been here as well, to do initial view of it, evaluation of it, and we've talked to Navitas about tying this into a energy performance contract, and Dennis is here to sort of expand on that.
So what I want to do first is to just give you a visual tour of the Vosburg pump station. How many of you have ever taken a tour of the pump station? Great, well then I'll have some photos. When it was first built. When it was first built, yes. It is one of 22 pump stations that you have here in town. And it's the largest?
It is the largest.
It is the largest. So, out on Vosburg Road. We'll give you a tour, and pretty much everything that I'm going to talk about is planned to be replaced. This is a comprehensive upgrade of the treatment of the pump station. So, walking in the front door, you go into the first room there where you can see the aging boiler, all of the electrical switch gear that is there. There is an old backup power generator that is in a nearby room on the side, which is original. This is back to the switchgear again that was in that room. There's a little white note that is there that was left that if you're curious what it says, it basically says don't pull that pump, bad things will happen. And if you guys ever get yourself in like a hot sauce contest, I think Webster's finest stinky ocean sauce is the naming rights that you should probably think of. So let's take a walk downstairs. And then downstairs, here's where your larger pumps are. You've got 3 large pumps there. 2 of them are currently operating.
Correct.
One of them does not. Again, just a bunch of aging infrastructure that you have here. Old electrical, and one of them, which I found interesting, was inside one of them is a giant on-off switch to some of the existing equipment that's there. Little fun things that you find when you're in the pump station. Again, the pipes, the old lighting that is here. We've got ourselves a leak through one of the walls that has been there for quite some time. Walk out to the back and then we'll show you where the leak is coming from. So now we'll move over into the wet well, which is the side where the flow comes in before it's transferred through the pipe. The grinder pump on the right side we believe is the newest piece of equipment that is in the pump station at this point. But you can see that on the left-hand side, the mechanical system that is there for ventilation is in poor shape as it is outside at this point. So in this completes our tour of the pump station. As he mentioned before, MRB Group has done the preliminary engineering report on this project. They completed it in February of this year, and they had estimated the cost at $3.5 million. I will tell you that I am pretty sure that that number is wrong, based on what we understand in the market and the way that it moves right now. I cannot tell you how far it is, but the market is a wild, challenging place right now to be pricing things, but it is where we have as a starting point. So let's talk through the approach that we'll take on this project with you. So we will have MRB as our engineering partner as we move forward, and some of the benefits and why I think Art and the town were interested in having us help you with this is that we have a fully assembled team that we're working with you now at the resource recovery facility. And so we're able to work with MRB as the engineer and then bring in all the same key trade partners that we have that will be doing the work at the treatment plant for the upgrade. And so although we'll manage it as a completely separate contract and a separate project, we found as we did quite a bit of analysis that if you compare doing this project as a standalone design bid build process versus us incorporating, we found just under about $500,000 of savings. And a lot of that comes from the fact of having a team that is in the area that is already managing work you're getting efficiencies of scale because one project manager can be managing 2 projects that are 15 minutes apart from one another. So also, as part of that, as we looked at it, just as a reminder, if you were doing this process in the traditional design bid build approach, you would still have, and you may recall this graphic, you would have 5, if not 6 contracts potentially to manage all of those working through the low bid process, much more lack of control that you have through the process and just the additional workload of managing the multiple contractors, where with the turnkey delivery, you have the single contract with Navitas, and then we are managing the members of the team in totality for you. So the ability to have the engineers, the key trade partners, us, and the town working together in partnership helps you get a more efficiently delivered project. So moving forward with that, the fee that is proposed for this project is a little over $340,000, and we'd be using the same contract vehicle format that we're using with you now at the treatment facility. We're forecasting this as a 6-month duration to do the development and contract approvals, and you can see the members of our team that are on this. They are, with the exception of MRB that we'll be working with here, the same team we're working with at the treatment plant. The new partner is actually J.K. Muir. I have a typo there. J.K. Muir is a pumping efficiency specialist that we will bring in, and what they will be doing is measuring the efficiency of the existing pumps in the pump station. And part of that is because as part of the energy performance contract, energy savings has to be part of it. So what we need to understand is how efficient or inefficient the existing pumps are, so that when the old pumps come out, the high efficiency pumps go in, along with the other parts of efficiency, we're able to accurately measure and verify those benefits through the project. The goal of the work that we have here really will be to determine the scope and price and do the engineering work to understand what this project will deliver for you. The tasks that we have are all the same ones. Site evaluation, we have to do hazardous materials surveys. There's a high probability there's asbestos within the facility that will need to be mitigated. We'll be doing the design progress sets, construction documents, permitting, all of the things necessary to determine price, scope, and scale. And with that, I'll take your questions.
This thing that concerns me the most is, as you stated earlier, that you can guarantee this price is not correct. What worries me is the percentage increase that we could potentially see with this project, as we have seen in other projects. And I understand that, it just seems that we have so many projects ongoing that, the cost is going to be very important. It's like a time. And it's not to say that these projects don't need to be done, because they should have been done a while ago, in my opinion, based upon the pictures that you presented, the pictures that Pat Stevens has presented at the highway department. I mean, these projects need to go forward, but we also need to take into consideration what the cost is going to be, where the funds are going to come from.
Paul Adams, our finance director, is in the back, and I'm sure you have a mirror with him, John, because this is, we're having weekly, twice a week meetings on how to pay for all of these projects. So it's an ongoing, whether it's bonding, grants, it's, and I've said it before, there's no way all these projects should be done at the same time. But we can't go back in time and asset manage from 1980 up till now. We're now. It's 2022, and I think that Pat Stevens has done a very good job in his presentations in the last 6 months on the highway garage, showing, pictures worth 1,000 words, what it looks like. This showing what this looks like. You had us raise our hand, Dennis. Councilman Abbott, I don't know if he raised his hand, and you said you didn't Didn't you build this thing, Bill?
I'm not sure the date. I believe I was on the project when this was built. This is a construction project engineering. I can't remember. It's that long ago. I've been out of the construction field 25 years. Pretty sure.
I also raised my hand because I've been on a tour of this pump station when it looked just like the pictures, which I will say looked pretty clean compared to the last time I went through it. It was an evening in October of maybe 21 when it was failing and that lead well was flooding. It's in serious need of replacement. But again, I share the rest of the board's concern of, since we haven't been able to plant those trees that money goes on, and that's really what we should have done
Yeah.
10 years ago, was plant an orchard with money trees. But I have to figure it out.
Maybe we should focus less on green space and on green backs space.
We would combine the two
Good,
somehow.
great. But all jokes aside, and we've, you know, one thing that the citizens don't see, and we try to, you know, these are live, shown on cable and Facebook and whatever, they're taped so you can go and see it later on. But even, you know, these are hour-long meetings, what you don't see is all the work behind the scenes. Art, you know, we've looked and said to you, how can you Band-Aid some of this stuff? Because the reality is, if one of these things fail, like Patty said, it's all fun until you have raw sewage just going across the land into people's front yards. You don't want an incident at your sewer plant or at your pump stations, or on your mains throughout town. You know, people call us all the time. How do you know? I got a couple of calls today. I see you got on the schedule. Another $3-4 million. What's going on here? Well, you know, watch the thing. Take a look. Go and look. I mean, this is, you know, we're in a situation where, okay, do we go and spend $2 million on Band-Aids and whatever, which are really inefficient, or do we get it done and then whatever? So
I would
it's
also.
a tough situation.
This isn't the first time we've seen this, because I'll check for about this to us a while ago,
Yeah.
when the first engineers to make this one.
Was it 2 years ago that we did Vosburg and Club? And I know that you took me down, I think, it was December of 19, even before I was in the supervisor. And you said, yours, Club was one of our bigger ones, right?
Correct.
And you're like, I just wanted you to see this with your own eyes. This is what would happen, you know, if this thing fails. And we can't turn this valve. I remember you said, if we turn the valve and it breaks, which we think it will,
Correct.
and you can't stop the flow, that's a problem.
Along with that, you had mentioned Fondwick, and at least once in my time, my 5 years here, numerous times prior, Fondwick Station, it's an above-ground station, I had filled 3 feet up with sewage, and the guys were in there trying to resolve the issue. But we have since fixed that with that last project, and it should be good for many years. I absolutely share Councilman Cahill's concern with these projects. I know Patty, Tom, and Paul, we talk about this all the time, and I think we all do, of everything coming to a head at once. Absolutely, I go from my own shit at my home this way, but as far as getting an accurate cost, you know, this may be the way to do it. I think it's a very good process to get that cost, and then come back and share that and make a good decision that way.
Anything else, Ken? Always good to see you, Dennis.
Happy to.
Thank you.
Good night, sir.